Hello and welcome to Feel Good Friday News. Thankfully it's Friday. Alright, our announcements are pretty simple for today. Just keep up with your work. And the other thing, big thing is don't cheat. Alright, we're getting a lot of that going. This is a more downer side of Feel Good Friday News. We're getting a lot of that, and what I'm afraid is going to happen is you're going to keep doing it, and then you're not going to be ready for high school next year. Because I'm talking mostly to 8th graders, but in 7th grade you won't be ready for 8th grade, blah, blah, blah. Just try. There's enough resources out there to help you out. In Google Classroom and anywhere else, where you can just ask for help. In sports, we have basketball going on right now. The 7th grade boys are undefeated. The 7th grade girls are good. They're either undefeated or 2-1. The 8th grade girls are 1-2. And I think the 8th grade boys are 2-0. I don't think they've lost. So all of basketball is going pretty well. They just need to keep it up. All right, for your dad joke of the week. What do you call somebody with no body and no nose? Nobody knows. Weather. It's raining. All right, and what y'all came here for was the Detroit sports news. The Lions hired some GM guy. He was the college scout at the Rams, I believe. Rams or Chargers. I think it was the Rams. It doesn't matter. Nobody knows who he is. And knowing Detroit's history, he'll last a good 4 years, maybe 5. Actually, I like holding on to GMs. We held on to Matt Millen forever, and he was horrible. And they hired Dan Campbell. If you saw his interview yesterday, he's going to need a very specific set of guys to play for him. There's a lot of that rah-rah stuff. Like, yeah, it sounds cool, but yeah, these are grown men. They're not high schoolers and college players, so you got to treat them a little bit different. I don't know how it's going to work out. Knowing Detroit, probably not well. I think Bill Belichick could come to Detroit, and they'd still be terrible. They should never got rid of Jim Caldwell. I do think, watching his interview yesterday, Matthew Stafford's gone, so good for him. He needs to go to the Colts and go win a Super Bowl there. Could you imagine him on the Colts? Actually put a defense around him and a running game. He hasn't had a running game since he's been there. The last running game he had was Barry Sanders. If you look back, nobody ever runs for 100 yards for the Lions. I don't care who it was. If you put Derrick Henry, you could put Alvin Kamara on the Lions, and they would run for 50 yards. Because it's just Detroit, and they're terrible. I'm still holding on to my Pistons. I wish Blake Griffin would retire, because all he's doing is eating up money and holding the team down. If you want an old guy with bad knees to go out there and lose games for you, I can do it just as good as Blake Griffin, and I cost way cheaper. So, Pistons, give me a call. Switch me in for Blake. I'll take his money. He can come here and do my job. All right, I'm going to give you basically where everybody should be at with their lessons and stuff. So I have 7th grade social studies. They have a test on 126, and they should end the week at Intro in Northern Africa. 7th AC Math, they have a quiz on 127 for probability. 8th grade Math has a test this week. It was actually yesterday, but if they didn't do it, I actually went over it. I think I went over it yesterday with them on 121. So, and they have a quiz next week over graphing linear equations on 128 that I'll go over. 8th grade Science has a quiz on forces on 128. 8th grade Social Studies has a test post-World War II Georgia, and that's today, and I actually just went over that in class. The Civil Rights Movement is what they start next week. This is an important section for them. Of all of Georgia history that I've taught, I believe this is the most important thing they're going to learn the entire year, because it's the most applicable to their lives. I mean, it's good to learn Oglethorpe started Georgia, and Highland Scots, everybody likes that one. But that's not super important. The Civil Rights Movement is, so I've made videos and note guides for all of it. I didn't do it justice, I guess, because it's hard when you don't actually talk to people and have a conversation. It's always one of my favorite things to teach, because you get pretty good conversation about it. Then I have Algebra 1. They have a quiz on 126. interpreting expressions, quadratics, 2 sections. I don't know what that means. I just wrote it down. And honor science quiz, pure substances on 127. And if you were keeping count, yes, I teach 7 different classes. And it's a lot to keep together. And that's it. This has been Feel Good Friday News. Nothing else important really going on. It's raining all the time. Sports. Super Bowl's coming up. Aaron Rodgers is amazing. That's it. Have a good week.